started work, the job was going fairly well, so I just decided to get most of the work done to make it more appealing for people when they come to rent out. The laminate flooring, I just wanted to brighten up the room a lot more, and also I don't think I'll have to replace the flooring, whereas carpet I might have to replace again, which could be more expensive.
So has he faced many problems with this refurbishment? The whole flat does look really great.
I think the toughest bit of the work was the decorating. I allowed so much time to finish the job, and it just took twice as long because I had to do so much prep work, filling the walls, rubbing them down. I must have done that about 2 or 3 times on some of the ceilings.
The windows in the living room were rotten and damp got in, as well as noise from the railway. But Chris got the freeholder's permission to install double-glazed French doors, which now open out onto the communal area at the back.
Originally these were windows, but now fitted French doors. I replaced all of the windows with new PVC to prevent the damp problem. They also prevent the noise from the railway. I think it was a worthwhile job.
Chris works as a carpenter, a useful skill. So has he done all the work on the flat?
I've done a great deal of the work here, but I've had a lot of support from friends and family. A friend of mine is an electrician, other friends are Tyler, he helped me out quite a bit. My brother and my dad had a go at the plumbing for me, so yeah. Friends and family have been a great help as well. I couldn't have done without them.
Chris's brother lives in the same block. I bet there was a sigh of relief when the kitchen was unpacked, as Chris had ordered it before he moved in, taking the measurements from his brother's flat.
I measured up my brother's kitchen because his flat has the same floor plan, and fortunately it fitted, so that was good.
Chris had hoped to get the work done in 4 weeks, but that proved to be a little bit ambitious.
The job's taken me 3 months so far, but really I haven't had 3 months because I've been working full time at the same time. If I was to be doing this full time, I think I'd get the job done in a month.
The storage heaters have remained. Not ideal, but there's no gas supply to the block. Chris spent $133,000 on the flat at auction and has done a much bigger refurbishment than he initially planned. So how has the budget stood up?
My original budget for the project was, I think, £3,000. I've gone up to just over £4,000, but originally I didn't allow for double glazing in the original budget. The quote for the double glazing was £1,300. It would have been about double that price, but because I fitted it myself, I put the price down.
So $133,000 to buy and $4,000 on the renovations. Time to ask 2 local estate agents who know the Reading market to value this property.
Initially decorated, new laminate flooring, new French doors are a replacement to the original, so overall good. Double glazing certainly added value to the property on the basis that the property goes back onto a railway line. That will certainly clear out some of the noise from the trains.
But is he on track to get a decent rental income?
In my opinion, the rental value for this property is in the region of £650 to £725 per month.
If I was to put the property on the market for rent, I think it would achieve £725 per calendar month.
I think that's a good rental income. I thought it would be more, but I'll be happy with that.
Well, hopefully that's enough to cover most or some of his mortgage. How much could the flat be worth if Chris was to sell it?
I put this property on the market for £162,000.
In my opinion, if I was to put the property on the market for sale, it would achieve a figure of around about £165,000.
I think that's a really good result. I'm really pleased with that.
Well, that's $25,000 more than he spent. But after the usual deductions, Chris's profit won't be anywhere near that figure. So what's his plan now?
I plan to rent the property out for a year or so. As a developer, I'd really like to do another project in the future, but for the meantime, I'm just going to graft and earn as much money as I can so I can pay back what I borrowed.
Well, hopefully the flat will increase in value. Chris is going to carry on living at home with his parents, but he will be able to keep an eye on his investment. And if he keeps his ear to the ground, he might hear about another flat that's heading for auction.
Back in Margate, Glenn paid £72,000 for a maisonette on the top 2 floors of this wedge-shaped building. It meant that there were angled rooms, but the maisonette had already been renovated, so it just needed finishing off. Mind you, there were some nasty signs of damp. This builder Jeb had another of Glenn's properties to renovate before they could tackle this one.
There
we're ripping ceilings out and walls out, and it's a complete refurb, rewire the whole thing. This is like a little bit of a holiday.
Well, they've had 6 months, so let's see what's been achieved. On the top floor, the living room's been painted. Great, a proper professional looking job. In the kitchen, the units were already there, so again, it's just a paint roller that's been busy. Downstairs to the first floor, and again the paint pot's been out. So come on, Glenn, I'm missing something. It looks like all you've had to do is decorate.
Right, the bathroom's in pretty good shape when we bought it, so what we've done, we've just finished the decorating, and that's about it, and all we're going to do is the floor covering after that as well. This is the bedroom, and we've done exactly the same, really. We've just decorated the walls and the ceiling, and we're going to finish off with carpet.
But 6 months have passed, and the end is still some way off. I reckon Jeff could have painted this in a couple of days.
Yeah, Jeff was down here when you first came with us, but unfortunately Jeff has been on my other project, so he hasn't been too involved in this one. And that's one thing I would say, I took on two at a very similar time. And if I was doing this again, perhaps, I would look at just doing one.
Ah, so that other job has taken all Jeff's time. So who's done the work here? Was that down to Glenn?
On this particular project, I like to be hands-on, but I haven't been. But yeah, we've got a team. We've got a team of guys that I use regularly, so we've got it done.
Glenn paid £72,000 for this maisonette, but curiously, the previous owner had done a lot of work and then decided to get rid of it. I could see there were still signs of damp on the ceiling. Was that the problem and the reason it was put up for auction?
The roof issue is not as bad as we initially thought. I think it may have put a couple of people off at auction buying the place, but we've been up there. The roof is pretty sound. It's just a few issues with regards to the lead flashings, so not as bad as we'd have thought.
Relatively easy to fix and not too expensive, so it looks like Glenn's decision to go for this maisonette has paid off. How's his budget cope with all that paint?
At the moment we're around about 5.5. I reckon there's another 1,500 possibly for the carpet.
Although the kitchen had an oven, there was no gas into the flat, and that's proved to be expensive.
In terms of costing, this is the biggest job. Putting in that meter has cost me over £2,000. But we knew that the place didn't have gas when we purchased it, so a little bit more than I hoped for, but it's what it cost.
It wasn't just the cost though. It took over 2 months for the gas to be plugged in, a further delay. But now there's only really the carpet to lay and the flat can be finished. So is Glenn still planning to let it out?
Depending on the reaction from the agents, it could be a case we rent this one for a short period of time. But on the other hand, if the right offer comes in, I would consider it.
2 agents who know the Margate market should be able to answer that question.
When we first come here, the place was in need of some decoration.